Well, it's a national operation across the country. In Lincolnshire we've got 2 locations that we're working from today, and it's tackling rogue traders, the people who are causing significant harm to vulnerable people in communities across Lincolnshire. So we've got 9 different agencies working here, and we'll be using the full force of the law, all of the different offences that we can enforce against the offenders that we see. We're not randomly pulling vehicles off the road here, we're using intelligence-led policing, so that means that the vehicles that are being brought into the site here and at the other site on the other side of the county are based on intelligence and targeting the people who are committing these offences. So we're looking at, sometimes it's the condition of the vehicles, sometimes it's the fuel that they're using, but we know that road traders across Lincolnshire have been involved in modern day slavery offences as well, so using illegal workers who in themselves are victims, and we'll be enforcing those against those offences as well. We've got an Environment Agency here. You'll see that there's HMRC, Revenue and Customs are on site. We've got trading standards, and we've got other agencies as well who can assist us in terms of gathering the intelligence and making sure that the vehicles that are being brought in here, the offenders that are being brought in here, are the right people. We think it's underreported. That is, that many of the victims of road traders are too embarrassed or sometimes just feel that it was their fault, and that's not the case. So we know that it's an underreported problem, and it's one of the things that we would encourage victims to do when people see that these people are working in their communities, to report it to us. And every case is different in many ways. Although they use common methods of extracting money from victims, it's often that the victim feels that in some way that they're responsible. And when you're looking at elderly victims who perhaps have been scammed out of large quantities of cash, sometimes they've been taken to the bank to take their savings out, that's really harrowing, that's really difficult, because they feel that they're in some way to blame, and that's just not the case. That's part of the point of the operation today, to say that if you see these people working in your community, first of all, make particularly vulnerable people, maybe elderly relatives, aware of the kind of work that goes on, but also to report it to us, and we're much happier to tackle them and to prevent the offences in the first place. We have a number of watch schemes across Lincolnshire, and they help provide you with information about the kind of offences that are being committed in our communities, the kind of scams that are being used, and how to recognise those offences in the first place. That's helpful because it means that when you spot them, you can report them to the police on 101, and we can respond to that, so we can prevent there being further victims.